Our next topic is female reproductive system. So, because it is a system, the various organs include ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, vagina. All this will be shown in the diagram when I will draw those ones. These are the organs and the little functions, what is the role played by them. These are very important as a one-mark question. Ovary. Ovary, it produces the female gamete. It's called as egg or ova. Also, it produces the female sex hormone, which is called as estrogen or progesterone. Fallopian tube is also called as oviduct. That was you have done in previous classes. It is a place of fertilization. Also, it is a duct which carry the eggs also. Uterus, other name is womb. This is a place of fetus development. Fetus is the name of it is the small child inside the mother body is called as fetus. Cervix, vagina. Vagina is also known as the birth canal. It is a place from where the fetus comes out of the mother body during its birth. So these are the various organs which constitute the female reproductive system. This is the diagram of the female reproductive system. Consists of pair of ovary, presence of fallopian tube. These fallopian tube opens up into a bag-like structure known as uterus. This uterus, has a very narrow opening. This is called as the cervix, and this place is called as the vagina. Ovary, it is a place where the egg maturation takes place. It means, it is said, when the girl child is born, already eggs are present in that. Thousands of eggs are already existing with the birth of the child, but they all are non-functional. They start maturing when the puberty arises. So when the puberty arises, they get mature, but in a way, one per ovary, these are maturation take place. Once this ovary, one egg is mature, another time next ovary, one egg is mature. One egg at a time per ovary, it gets mature and it comes out in the fallopian tube. This very place, this funnel-like structure, it picks up the egg, and this egg, they travel into the fallopian tube here at this place, where this egg wait for the sperms to come so that the process of fertilization take place. Here the fertilization occurs, then this fertilized egg start moving toward this area known as the uterus. In the uterus, this fertilized egg stay. It stay for the time till the whole development takes place. It takes approximately 9 months for the complete maturation of this fertilized egg. And when this embryo occurs, a fetus formation is there in the uterus, whole development occurs, then this fetus, it comes out through this opening which is called as the birth canal, and it takes the birth. So ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, vagina, all these constitute the female reproductive system. I have done that the ovary already contains the egg since the birth of a girl child. Thousands of eggs are already present, but they start maturing when the child reaches to puberty. One by each ovary, the egg is produced, one in each month. This ovary releases the egg, then this ovary, alternately they are releasing the eggs. Once the egg get mature, they get released out. The process of release of the egg is known as the ovulation. Within 14 to 15 days after menstruation, the egg reaches to this place. It waits for 1 to 2 days for the sperms to come. The sperm reaches here from the vagina. Sperms are deposited in the vagina. From here, they travel to this and reaches to fallopian tube near the egg. The two fuses together, egg as well as the sperm, and the process of fusion is known as the fertilization. The fertilization, they lead to the formation of the zygote. This zygote, it is a single cell structure which divide and redivide, resulting into the formation of embryo. Within 4 to 5 days after fertilization, this embryo, it travels down into the uterus. Within the uterus, it reaches and join with the thick wall of the uterus. The inner lining of the uterus, which is very thick, this lining is called as endometrium. It is highly vascular. It means rich supply of blood is there and it is having the tissues. When the zygote reaches to this area, but before reaching, the uterus prepare itself to receive this fertilized egg. What preparations are being done by the uterus? That means the inner lining, it becomes highly thick, which is richly supplied with the blood, tissues and the mucus. All these things, tissues and the blood spaces along in that very area of the wall of the uterus, they get formed over here. This thick lining is there to support the incoming zygote which is reaching over here. Within 4 to 5 days, when the zygote reaches or the embryo reaches to this place, it fixes itself with the endometrial lining. How? It releases out the finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are called as the villi. These villi, they get embedded into the wall of the endometrium, in wall of the uterus of a mother. And when the fixation occurs, they start developing. This fixation, this point of fixing, this is called as the placenta. Here, these villi outgrows and reaches join with the blood vessels of the endometrial lining. When the two blood connections and the villi connection is connected, that is placenta formation is there, then this start developing with the support of the mother. They keep on increasing in the size, this embryo, and result into the formation of fetus. This fetus is joined with the placenta to the mother body, to the uterine wall. So what now question is, what is placenta? Placenta, it is a disc-shaped structure. This is a point of fixation of the fetus as well as mother body, which is disc-like, having the villi-like projections from the fetus side and the blood spaces from the mother side. The two are interconnected with each other. This structure supports the fetus development because it is helping to exchange of material from the mother body, the material, the nutrition as well as the oxygen, it enters into the fetus and the waste of the fetus is released out. The two connections, it will be helping to support the fetus development. The fetus increases in the size, take its full time, that is approximately 9 months. And after 9 months, the wall of the uterus, under the influence of the hormone, it contracts, it squeezes, causing the release of the fetus from this area, which is called as birth canal. From the birth canal, this fetus moves out. It is squeezed out and the child is born. This is regarding when the fertilization occurs. But a situation is that it is not always 100% necessary that egg is released and the fertilization occurs, or the sperm is not necessary to come to reach to this place. If the egg is released here, it is not always necessary that the sperm reaches here, but it is always necessary that the egg will come. Egg is released out, but sperm may not come. When the egg reaches to this place, during the process of ovulation, there is a formation of the thick lining of the uterus. It is always there because it always prepare itself to receive the fertilized egg. It is not always necessary that the fertilization will occur, but this preparation is 100% going to occur, because this is not, it is not dependent upon the situation of fertilization. It is not preparing itself after fertilization. All these preparations are before fertilization. So along with the release of egg, all these preparation continues. Egg is released, but sperm has not come. This egg wait for 1 to 2 days for sperm to occur, but sperm has not reached. So in that situation, this degenerates. When this degenerates, it comes out and reaches over here. So all this preparation was for the fertilized egg. Egg is not fertilized. This preparation goes waste. So what happens? The egg comes out, unfertilized egg, and this preparation which was done by the uterus, it sheds off. It is of no use now because no fertilization has occurred. So all this preparation, it goes waste, it sheds off. All the blood spaces and all the tissues which was there on the lining of the uterus, they all are shed off. They release out through the vagina. And this process of the release is called as menstruation. This menstruation period, approximately it will take 4 to 5 days to clean off the whole area and all the material to come out. After 5 days, another process of maturation of the egg starts. A new egg matures, a new egg is released, and a new process starts. New building up of the wall of the uterus will take place. This is an important question. What changes occur in the uterus when egg is fertilized? What changes occur in the uterus when egg is not fertilized? Yeah. So these are the two questions which are very important, and you have to learn all those things. Next topic is reproductive health, which is the last topic of the chapter. First of all is definition. It's a state of physical, mental, social well-being of healthy reproductive life. It means that in the chapter till now we have studied male reproductive system, female reproductive system, the process of fertilization. Also we have done the changes which are occurring during the time of maturation of the child. But it is said all these sexual maturation which is going on that occur during the time of puberty, they are the gradual phase. It means it is growing along with the general growth of the body. But it does not signify that the person is completely mature to bear the family. To bear the family, it should be a very planned manner, because it can affect not only physical, but it also affect the mental well-being of the person also. If the person is not completely ready physically and mentally, it is going to cause certain problems. So not only the problem to the body, but it is said that if this is not controlled, it will be giving rise to increased population. It also affects the resources of our country, because as the way population increase, the resources do not develop in that very manner. The child which is born, it requires the food, it requires the space and everything. So it should be a planned manner that the person should be able to bear the child when the person is completely mature. There should be a pressure from the family, from the others to bear the child. But this is controlled, and how the way these can be controlled, that way are called as the contraceptive methods, in which the process of fertilization can be checked. Those methods are of various types. These are the various methods by which the pregnancy can be controlled, or they are called as the contraceptive methods to prevent the contraception. Contraception means that is the process, they prevent the process of fertilization. Number 1 is a barrier method. Number 2 is a surgical method. Number 3, it is a chemical method. And number 4, it is called as contraceptive devices. Barrier method. We are to learn these ways by the means of heading. And this is considered to be as one of the important question. Barrier method, the name is telling barrier. Barrier, it means it put a barrier or a check to prevent the fertilization, to prevent the egg to reach to the sperm. And these barriers are available for male as well as female. In the case of male, the barrier is called as condoms, and in the case of females, it is called as the cervical caps, which are preventing the fusion of male and female gamete. Next is chemical method. This very chemical, they are in the form of the pills. These pills, they change the hormonal level in the case of the females, and these due to which these hormonal changes does not cause the egg to release out. If egg is not released, naturally the fertilization can be avoided. But there is a problem in this method due to the change in the hormone, in that it can cause the side effects in the body of the female. Next is contraceptive devices. These are the certain devices which are made up of metallic object or the plastic objects which are placed in the uterus, and due to which it can kill the sperm, or it can avoid the mating or process of fertilization by the fusion of male and female gamete. And the one example of contraceptive devices is copper T. And there is a question in the back exercise also, is the copper T. Next is, it is a surgical method. Name is telling surgical, it means the surgery is being performed. Surgery on the male reproductive system as well as the female reproductive system. If it is a male reproductive system, in that vas deferens is cut and it is tied on the two ends. So the passage is being obstructed so that the sperms do not move out. And in the case of the female, that the fallopian tube, it is being cut from here and it is tied at this place so that the eggs do not move out or the sperms do not reach to the egg. And this way, by the surgery, we can avoid the meeting of the male and the female. Surgery is also said to be causing the problem in the case of the male and female also. So all these methods, either surgical or chemical or contraceptive devices, they are causing the side effects in the person or the individual. So these are mentioned in the book. These are the 4 ways by which the pregnancy can be avoided. But it is said during the process that there are certain ways by which the diseases can also pass. We have studied in 9th class, and those category of the diseases are called as sexually transmitted diseases, which can pass from male to female or female to male. And these diseases they are called as sexually transmitted diseases. So first of all, example of those diseases, can it be avoided? So those diseases are STD. Naturally, they are infectious diseases caused by the germs. It can be caused by bacteria or it can be caused by the virus also. So bacterial disease is gonorrhea and viral disease is AIDS. One more name is given in the book, that is warts. So bacteria, gonorrhea is there, as well as syphilis. These 2 names you have already done in your 9th class. Can these diseases be avoided? So it is said, yes, they can be avoided if only by the method of barrier. By barrier method, we can control these diseases. In the back exercise, I was already just started with this. Can these diseases be avoided by using the contraceptive devices? Is the copper T capable of avoiding this disease? Why I have said only the barrier method is there? So no, copper T cannot control these diseases. What is the reason? Because copper T, it is inserted inside the uterus. They are placed inside the uterus and the sperms are deposited at the vaginal place. So it means already the sperms which are infected sperms, they have reached to the human body, to the female body. If they have already reached to the female body, the germs entry has already taken place. So how can the one which is already deep inside the body can control such type of the disease? So it is not possible. Now question is that, is there any need for all these resources, all these methods? Yes, there is a need for all these methods to required. They are 100% required. Number one, they are required to maintain the size of population. They are also required to maintain the health of a mother. They are also required to keep a gap between the two children in the family. It is also helpful to improve the status of the family also. So this way we conclude the chapter that reproductive health is one of the major criteria that has to be taken into consideration. Can population size be maintained? Yes, population size can also be maintained. How it is possible? When the birth rate it is equalizing the death rate, then we can say population size is maintained. So we know with the upcoming of the good medical resources, the death rate has been reduced a lot, and the birth rate it is at its own pace. So naturally, what is the result for that? Due to the result, more births are going on and deaths are less, and due to which what is going on? Population is increasing. So that is why there is a need of all these methods is there. Thank you.